Today we'll start with the eyes. It's much easier to start with your eyes when you're doing a smoky eye. That way if any mistakes or any makeup falls on your cheeks, you can clean it up and then do your foundation. We're going to use today a cream eyeshadow. It's foolproof, that's why I like to use it. So for any of you girls out there that aren't used to using makeup, this is the easiest way to do a smoky eye, and it's really lovely. This one's Cosmetics a la carte, and it's got lots of shimmer in it, so it really highlights your eyes, and it's perfect for the party season. So we're going to start off with Shell, and just use a nice big fat brush and just apply it to the top half of your eyelid. And do a little bit in the corner because that's really sweeter, lifting your eyes. On the other side. These apply so smoothly and so easily. If you need to know which brushes to use, then just go to my best brushes block. So now we're going to use Treacle, which is a darker shade. It's a bit easy if you actually do apply it on the back of your hand. That way you can limit the amount that's going on your brush. Now with this you apply on your lower lid. Now blend in your socket, and don't be worried about it being too perfect. And also if you're like me, I've got slightly hooded eyes as I've got older. So what I do to help lift that is just go slightly higher on the socket. And then like I said, don't be worried about it being too perfect. You just smooth it away a bit with your fingers. And you can correct any mistakes later with a concealer brush or your finger. And now I'm going to go a little bit higher because my lovely hooded eyelids. Now it's time to put the eye pencil on. I'm going to use MAC Coffee Colour. I usually choose to use a dark brown because it makes people's eyes pop more. So if you've got green or blue eyes, it will only make them more green and more blue. Although if you do have dark brown eyes and dark brown hair, I would probably recommend that you use a black. That will make yours stand out more. So when you start applying this, you apply it on the lower lid. And don't worry again about it being too perfect, because it's all going to get blended away afterwards. And what you can do is just lift it a little bit in the corners just to help those eyes open again. Then you go inside. The only time I would recommend that you don't do this if you've got really small eyes, because then obviously you can close them a little bit. Go inside the corner. So now it's time to blend the eyeliner under the eyes and on top of the lid. This will just smooth everything away and get rid of any mistakes. Although you do want it slightly imperfect, I think, a smoky eye. It doesn't need to be so perfect. This is when it's ideal actually to put it on the back of your hand, because then you don't get too much on your brush and you can control it a little bit better. Now it's the eyelashes. I would always advise, especially if you've got slightly older eyes like me or slightly hooded eyes, to use an eyelash curler. The best are Shuamura. They may seem a little bit pricey, but they're so worth the investment. They'll last you quite a long time and they just do the best job. It does look a little bit like Japanese torture, but you get used to it quite quickly, and it's just a little bit of practice. These really do open the windows to the soul. I've actually got quite straight eyelashes, so without these, I would really struggle So just do it a couple of times on each eye, and you'll see the difference when I apply the mascara. So mascara, I'm going to use Hypnose by Lancome. It's my favourite, because you can really layer it, so you can have them as soft, as fluffy as you like, or make them a bit more dramatic by going back to them. All the products will actually be in the blog post too, so they're all listed there, and we'll link you straight to buy if you need to. Then do the bottom lashes. Next, the foundation. I'm actually going to use Giorgio Armani. It's my absolute favourite, and you can mix it with the Light Master Primer to make it as thin or as thick as you like. I'm actually going to mix it with quite a lot, so it's just like a tinted moisturiser for me. I've got freckles, and too much foundation just masks them and just makes me look like I'm wearing too much makeup. So I'm going to mix it with the Luminous Silk, and you'll find your perfect shade if you go in the shop. I would definitely recommend that when you get there, you just trial it, a couple of colours around your cheek and jawline, and then go for a little walk outside and check it out in the daylight. Just smooths away a few of the imperfections of life. And I love to use my fingers. I just find they're the cleanest, and you can really melt it into your skin, especially if you want a really light base. Next, concealer. I'm going to use Airbrush Concealer by Clinique. It's quite light, but I think I can just about get away with it today. This is where you can get rid of a few mistakes, even if there's any there. Put a little bit here, mask the frown lines, and it's also quite sweet if you do a little bit around your nostrils. This is where you'd usually apply powder. I'm not actually going to use any on my skin today. It's the middle of winter, and my skin actually just doesn't need any. It's absorbing anything I put on it. If you do, then just using really light blotting powder just to stop your T-zone from being shiny. So next, we just want to finish off the eyes now, because sometimes you get quite a hard line between where you've placed the concealer and the powder. So you just want to go back over that slightly with the brush, just so that it just smooths the eyeshadow a little bit into the edges of the where the concealer is. And just flick it up a little bit in the corners to help lift your eyes. And then next, you're going to use the eyeliner again. This will actually just sharpen it again, because it does melt away quite quickly, the kohl eyeliner. Definitely something you want to have in your handbag to touch up all night. And then the final bits to the eyes is the eyebrows. Now, as you can see, I actually don't need any eye pencil. I've got quite thick eyebrows, so I just give them a little brush up, keep them under control. And if you do need eye pencil, just keep it minimal with a smoky eye, that way it'll look a lot more modern. To finish our look, we just need to put a little bit on our cheeks just to brighten our face. Some people might not need this, I definitely do. I've got very sallow yellow skin. But I'm also going to use the same product for my lips. This way it keeps the cost down, and it's a lot easier to travel about with. Now, this one's a chubby stick from Clinique. This one's called Robust Rhubarb, and it's just kind of like the perfect colour, I think, to just brighten yourself a little bit, but without not looking like you're wearing too much makeup. Just on the apples. and then just finish it on the lips. And there you go, that's the look complete.